Hi everyone, Sophia Co here back with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about the second guide in the free mental health starter kit, which is the Liminal Workbook. I have a printed version here, and I'm just going to run us through an activity today briefly. So just as an intro, I created this guide before the How to Find a Therapist guide, which was in 2023. This guide, Liminal, I created in 2020, kind of at the height of the pandemic, as a way to provide coping skills to people or help people access coping skills in the interim of being able to access therapy. So this was kind of my first project that I did. I feel really proud about it. And I was really excited to include it in this bundle. So we're just going to dive in. So there's an exercise called Cycles of Care in the downloadable workbook, and we're going to walk through it. So first things first, I have a little whiteboard here. We're going to create three interlocking Venn diagram circles. Boom, got it. We're going to label each one. So one is going to be psychological care. Another is going to be physical care. And then the third one is external care. And we'll just start there. So, the point of this exercise is for you to get a sense of where your mental health is right now. So, which elements of support do you have present and which elements are you missing? So, we'll start with which elements are present and with external care. And you can think about that as like, what are the external supports you have available in your environment? Who are the people you rely on? Which spaces give you a sense of safety, calm, and yeah, what sorts of environments help you feel well in your being in yourself? So let's imagine we have, I'm going to do kind of like an example. So let's say external care is like family, let's say brother. Okay, let's say another source of external care might be living by water. So we live by the Puget Sound. So we might put Puget Sound. It's very healing and you know, grounding to be by water. And then let's imagine another source of external care might be say friend group. Okay. Now, what you might notice is like I put these three things in the external care, but there might be some overlap, right? So, friend group might actually go in the interim between or in the interlocking area between psychological care and external care because it's like in our environment, but we also maybe get a lot of mental health support, right? So spaces where we process our emotions, where we get to feel seen, heard, appreciated, right? So I'm going to put friends in the middle section here. Okay, so friends is going to go in this section. And then we want to think about our physical care. So, how do you take care of your body? So maybe there's some like uh, walking practice that you do, like morning walks. Maybe you do a really great job of staying hydrated. And maybe you like take consistent baths. Let's say that. Okay, so some of these things again might overlap. So I'm gonna actually put baths in the psychological care category because that feels true for me, but who knows? May or may not feel true for you, right? So far we're filling in our circles. Let's do last one, psychological care. So maybe for you that means a therapist that you work with. Maybe for you that means journaling. Maybe that means going out like camping into nature, right? And again, we may be overlapping here between external care and psych care, but boom, we've got our circles filled out, right? So we've got these sources of care. But the next task is for us to really think about Like what spaces are missing? Where do we feel like we're not getting enough support? And so that may actually be like you may be a person for whom the external circle is kind of empty, and then that feels really not great, right? So I'm going to use a different marker here. Let's imagine that we want more supportive connections. So we're going to put supportive connections in a different color. We might want that from our environment, and it might be lacking. We might want to connect with people in our community. Like maybe you're an artist or a crafter, and you want to make like professional connections that also kind of help you feel like you belong. So let's say, yeah, like community, which, I just want to clarify, I guess. First, I said supportive connections. Let's say like closer friends for the first one. Okay, so we've got closer friends, community, right? Maybe these are the things that we're missing. And maybe for physical care, maybe we actually really struggle to do any kind of movement or activity for us. So maybe we might put in this section movement, right? We want more movement. And then psych care, again, maybe we don't have a therapist. Maybe we want to get connected, get a therapist, right? Okay, so you'll see that the point of these circles is to kind of give you a bird's eye view of um, why you might be even seeking something like mental health care in the first place. Maybe you do this exercise and you find that like all of these circles are full, and then amazing, you might actually not need therapy. Maybe you're actually doing really well, and what you could use is like a good cry and like some quality time with whoever is in your external care circle. But the point being that this is a really important starting point, and it gets you thinking. It gives you a visual representation of like where are you at right now. And so I often do this with new clients, or even just like verbally kind of walk through this with potential people who are in consultations with me. Like, what are you really looking for? Why are you here? But I hope this tool is helpful to you. There's lots of other great, really wonderful exercises in the liminal mental health workbook, like your wellness intentions. There's some great art and poetry in here. So if you haven't already, I hope you dive in. There's also a safety plan in here if you are actually struggling with some more difficult thoughts. But all in all, these exercises and activities aren't meant to replace mental health care, but they're just a space for you to draw from, maybe while you're waiting to get into a new therapist, while you're waiting for care. So I hope that's helpful to y'all. And that's all I got.